Okay, so I've got the truck in extract mode. I have the Forstner bit installed into my drill, and now I'm looking at the 4 preset hole dimples that General Motors has put on the vehicle to identify, in fact, where you are going to drill through to ultimately install the mounting bracket for the actual tow hook. So I've lined up the tip with the dimple, and I am going to start to drill through the bumper in a nice straight fashion. It's going to go slow. I'm going to take my time. You definitely don't want to rush, because you don't want to punch through too hard and potentially damage the bolts on the other side. Slow and steady wins the race. There we go. We are through. There is one. Let's do the second one. You can see the actual bolt on the other side. So let's do the exact same thing again. Line up your bit. Just kind of falls into place. Go again, slow and steady. And you feel it kind of catch, and that's when you know you're done. The actual plastic itself gets a little stuck. Clean the bit again. Go to the next one. Align it. And keep going. Still not done. There we go. Done. Go a little bit more to get that piece out. And we will do the last one. Just gonna take that around so I can see where the bit is actually getting into place. Okay. Done. Those are all 4 holes drilled within about 4 minutes. So you can see just how easy that is to do. It opens up and exposes the bolts on the other end, so we can now mount the actual mount for the tow hooks. Okay, so now that we have the bumper pre-drilled and we can see the bolts now, or the nuts I should say, now we're going to install the bolts that came with the mount and the mount itself as well. So on the SUV, this rubber gasket is going to point away from the vehicle, so to the outside of the vehicle, not toward the trailer hitch. The rubber gasket is going to point out of the outside of the vehicle. Okay, we're going to put, it comes with 8 washers. Okay, so the washers that it comes with are actually going to fit into the hole here that we've pre-drilled once you put through the actual rods that came with it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting through the bolt all the way into the mount. I'm going to put the 2 washers on the bolt, and then I'm going to thread in the actual bolt itself. Okay, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to prop up the washers inside the actual cutout, okay? And that way you're ensuring that the washers are creating a really uniform fit to protect the plastic, because what's gonna happen is the washer is gonna make contact with the actual mount once you're threading in the actual rods. So you can hand tighten these in the instruction manual. It's a great instruction manual that GM provides. It tells you not to tighten fully right away these bolts, because once you get it fairly loose and fairly in place, you're actually going to install first the actual tow hook. Tighten the tow hook first so you can get access to it, and then tighten the bolts further, because you can't really get a ratchet driver in, because it will overlap. Okay, so to create a friction point. So we've got the first one on there. I'm going to add the second one. Like so. We'll start to tighten that. Get it in a few threads, and then move on to the next one. As you want to make sure you're getting the washers in place every time, you don't want to over tighten initially. Okay. So because there's Loctite already on the bolts, you may have to not be able to just hand tighten everything. You might have to give some force from a ratchet driver, like you just saw me doing there. Okay, so now you've got all the bolts in place. You're just gonna kind of tighten them down, but again, don't tighten all the way, because that will make it difficult for you to put on the actual tow hook.